All right, guys, so we are going to go over a quill lesson today. So let me just get through this. All right, so here we are. This week we are going to be talking about prepositions. Prepositions are a type of word like a noun or an adjective or a verb. A preposition has a couple of jobs. Today, we're going to focus on one type of preposition that tells us when something takes place. So, the three little words we're going to focus on, the three prepositions are the words at, on, and in. Those are three prepositions that we use to show when something happens. So let's look at how these three words could be used in some examples. So the first preposition at can tell me when something happens in a sentence like these. I arrive at 8 o'clock. I leave the party at 6 o'clock. So what do you notice about how the preposition at is used, or what the preposition at is used with? So you probably noticed that following the word at, we have a very specific time, 8 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So we use the preposition at whenever we are referring to a specific time for when something happens. The next preposition we're working with today is the preposition on. Here's two example sentences. I go to Mexico on March 3rd. Christmas is on December 25th. So what do these two sentences have in common? You probably noticed both these sentences are giving a specific day or a specific date. So we use on when we're talking about a specific day or date. So March 3rd to December 25th. Finally, we're going to look at the preposition in and when we use this one to talk about when something happens. So it says, I went to the beach in the fall. It is hot in July. So what are these two sentences? How are these two sentences referring to when something takes place? The first sentence we're referring to a season. The second season we're referring to an entire month of July, right? So we would use the preposition in when the time we're talking about has to do with a season, an entire month, basically anything longer than a day. I think about in our writing, we often refer to a year, especially when we're writing about social studies. So if I were to say that the Transcontinental Railroad was completed in 1869, before that year, 1869, I use the preposition in also. Let's look at this example. The concert is blank April 13th. So our three words we're working with this week are in, at, and on. Which word is most appropriate? Which preposition should be used to show when the concert takes place? On. We would use on April 13th because on is used for a specific day or date, and April 13th is a specific date. How about this one? When does school start? So this one's a little bit tricky. Unfortunately, I can't actually type on here, so there are some options though. Some of you might have been thinking, oh, school starts at 8 o'clock. In which case you use the preposition at because you are referring to a specific time. Some of you might be thinking, oh, school starts in August because you were thinking of when the school year starts in which specific month. You could have also be thinking school starts in fall. We would also use in when we talk about a season. Finally, some people may be thinking school starts on, goodness, I don't know when school starts, but let's say school starts on August 22nd. That would be using on because we are talking about the specific day where school would start for next year. So depending on our answer and how we're going to phrase when school starts will make a difference with which preposition I choose to use, right? That's the end of our lesson for today. We learned when the preposition in, at, and on can be used to tell when something happens. We know that in is used with whole months or seasons, at for specific times of day, and on used with specific dates. So what you're going to do after this video is over is you're going to go log into Quill and you're going to do your assignment or today's activity. So today's activity is just going to be practicing appropriate use of these three prepositions. The title of the activity is at, in, on for time.